So back in 2024, we at Lucidity Insights began recording our first ever podcast episodes in this studio right here in Dubai's Media City. And throughout a season of over a dozen impactful episodes, we've hosted some of the Middle East and Africa's most influential and inspiring investors and venture capitalists. And together, their insights have helped thousands of entrepreneurs to understand if they have a VC-backable business, navigate the fundraising process, build the most investable founding team, and ultimately craft the perfect pitch. So after a full season, what have we learned? Here are my personal top 5 takeaways and learnings from sitting with the region's most powerful and influential investors and startup founders. Number 1, not every business is a VC-backable business. VCs only back businesses that have the potential to become a unicorn. And that means that they only back businesses and founders that they think can build and run a company that brings in hundreds of millions of dollars and a revenue that basically gives them that billion-dollar valuation. So save your time. If you're not an easily scalable tech company, you're likely not VC backable. If you are a $10 million revenue a year business, great. Run a $10 million business, but know that VCs and institutional investors likely won't back you at the beginning. So move on and get creative on how you approach getting capital. Angel investors, friends and family are likely your best targets in order to get investment. Number 2, don't fundraise if you don't have to. That's big, right? Especially coming from our podcast where we're all about perfecting the pitch to fundraise, to bring in capital. But I heard this time and time again, and what I found was if you don't have to raise capital, outside capital, don't. Because the truth is, it's not a badge of honor to fundraise. It's a responsibility. So if you value creative freedom and the ability to grow a business slowly and steadily and sustainably, often it pays to bootstrap it. That's just my 2 cents. Number 3, your founding team matters a lot. If you're in the early stages of your business, your founding team matters more than the business that you're building. Did you hear me? Your founding team, the people that you're building your business with, matters more than the business idea or the total addressable market you're working on galvanizing. Investors are evaluating you and your team's competencies. Yes, the business needs to make sense, but as a team, you need to make even more sense. Do you complement each other? Do you work well together? Do you communicate and navigate challenges easily? Are you in it for the long haul? And are you all in alignment? Do your skills sort of feed off of each other? Those are things to think about. Number 4 is a big one. Getting comfortable with failure and doing it often. This is a theme that came up often, whether I spoke to investors or startup founders. The reality is if you want to be an entrepreneur, you've got to get comfortable with failure. And honestly, it was one of the biggest lessons I took away from Stanford Business School many, many years ago. The Silicon Valley mantra is fail early and fail often because early failures are less costly than failure at a later stage. The goal is to fail early and fail often so you can build the best product and business as quickly as possible, learning from your failures. And this is why investors around the world are looking for resilient founders who can fail. Those that can demonstrate this time and again is just gold. And finally, number 5. My biggest takeaway last year, which sort of is self-serving as one of the co-founders of Lucidity Insights, is all investors told me, do your research, prepare, know your investor, find the right fit. Every single investor I spoke to said that their biggest pet peeve was founders randomly approaching them and asking to be funded without knowing who they were, who else they had invested in, what their investment thesis was, what stage of startup or what sector they preferred. Nothing, really. And that's why we built lucidityinsights.com, so you can see every investor, what they invested in, how many checks they typically write in a year, what the average check size is for each investor that you can expect. You can check out their entire investment portfolio and do research on their startups that are similar to yours. So you can see if there's a symbiotic strategic relationship that can be formed there. Just do your research. Investors don't want to feel like they're your sugar daddy. They want to feel like they are your strategic mentor and guide to get to the top of the mountain. And you have to be clear on why you think they, with their competencies, with their personality, is unique from any other and in a unique position to help you and your startup specifically. So that's some of the best advice I received in 2024. Here's to another season of learning, growing, and expanding with the wisdom of even more amazing entrepreneurial advice in 2025.